Hello and welcome to Cooking with Dr. Drew. Welcome to 2018, Happy New Year, all of those things. This is the first video of 2018 and I wanted to start this new year by reading some of the many fan letter that I get all the time. So, let's begin. Dear Dr. Drew, thank you for your cooking videos. I have learned a lot on how to cook. Your idea about the pepper steak was a good one. I never thought of using peppers when making pepper steaks. I have an urgent need. I need to learn how to cook cereal. Which comes first, the milk or the cereal? I have all these different size spoons in my drawer. Which spoon should I use to eat the cereal? How does one go about choosing the best cereal? Does Cheerios really cheer you up? Does Life cereal add life? Is Trix really for kids? I always thought Trix were something for women who don't sleep at night and wear gaudy clothes. Okay. What kind of milk should I use? Is 2% milk twice as good as 1%? And if I'm not very hungry, how can I get half milk from whole milk? All great questions. In fact, these are fantastic questions and I'd be happy to try to answer them. First of all, learning a lot from my cooking videos. Well, of course you have. See, but my videos are not really about teaching you how to cook, but teaching you the only way to cook. See, you can do it Dr. Drew's way, or you can mess it up. The other is the idea of using peppers when making pepper steak. Let me let you in on something here. If you're going to make something that has an ingredient in the title, it's a good idea to use that ingredient to make the thing that you're trying to make. So let me explain that in layman's terms because I know that was a little bit difficult to follow. If you're going to be making grilled cheese and you choose to use bologna, you're not making a grilled cheese. You're making a grilled bologna. So I think you may be following. If you make pepper steak, but you do not use peppers, you're just making steak. If you're making pepper steak and you use sausage, you're making pepper sausage. So I think maybe that's elementary enough that you can grasp that idea. Now, on to the cereal question and your urgent need here. This is urgent, and this is very important, and I'm glad I caught it before the new year began. You're going to want to get these things right. I need to learn how to cook cereal. First of all, friend, let me just tell you, therein lies a problem. But thankfully, I'm here and have already addressed this. I've come into some contact with this. First of all, let me just tell you that cook and cereal do not go together. I learned that the hard way. If you have a frying pan and you put cereal in it, you're going to have a disaster. A really, really bad disaster, and could potentially ruin a very good stove. So, cook and cereal do not go together, and here's the main reason why, and this was a little something that I didn't really know, but trial and error. Cereal, this little thing right here, is already cooked. So that will help you out right there. You don't actually have to cook the cereal. It's already pre-cooked. which that's going to save you quite a lot of time and energy. And then comes to our first question. Which comes first, the milk or the cereal? I can't believe you even asked this question. I mean, I said these were good, but that's just silly. Everybody knows you put the cereal in first and then the milk. If you put the milk in first and then the cereal and the milk will go bad. It will sour. It will ruin your entire meal, so don't do that. And I thought everyone knew that. I have all of these different size spoons in my drawer. Which spoon should I use to eat the cereal? Well, let's go through this step by step. First of all, this is a standard teaspoon. And believe it or not, you don't have to use this just for tea. You can use it for cereal. So don't let that part confuse you. This is a teaspoon, and it's, it's just about mouth size. It fits really good. Part of the problem with this size spoon, though, is that you cannot get a lot of cereal here in the spoon. I also want to point out that the spoon is a unique tool. It is concave. Do not try to eat cereal like this. It won't work. You'll lose a lot of cereal. You won't get much milk. And so, again, it's kind of a trial and error thing, but thought I would help you out. So hold your spoon this way. Make sure that the dip is downward. That way you can get the cereal on top. So you put this in the milk and the cereal and take it in here to your mouth. Now that's another important thing I'd like to point out is that the metal ratio here is really low. This is important if you're an extremely demonstrative person and you move your hands around a lot while you eat. If you do happen to hit yourself in the face with this spoon, it's not going to hurt as bad, and you probably won't put your arm out. But, oh man. Okay. I think you see my point. Now, here we have another kind of spoon. This is a tablespoon, but strangely enough, this is not only to be used at a table. You can use this sitting in a chair. You can use it outside. You don't have to have a table at all. I learned that also. This spoon is a good one if you're very hungry and you're in a hurry, but please, again, note the metal to face ratio. This spoon, again, if you're very demonstrative, this spoon can, golly, it can nearly knock you out. Oh my goodness. Let me show you another kind of spoon. Now, this is a favorite of mine. If you're not a big fan of milk, but you do like the milk cereal combo, here is a great spoon. Look, note the lower metal content, so that's good. But you can put this spoon into the milk and cereal. The milk drains out, and then you get the good parts. This is a great spoon. Let me just tell you, this last spoon here, it's possible to eat cereal with this spoon, but let me just warn you, if you try, and I would suggest avoiding it completely, but this spoon is one that that happens a lot. So avoid that completely. Okay, let's look at the cereal. Now I want to point something out here. This, here, let me get you in here just a little bit. This is cereal. This is not cereal. Do not open this and put it in a bowl and pour milk on it and try to eat it. This is not cereal. This is not cereal. Note the bone shape. Do you know what this is? This is dog food. It is very important that you tell your wife not to put dog food in the same kind of container that cereal goes in, because it is possible for people to get the two confused and accidentally eat the wrong thing. Ugh. 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 Okay. Yuck. It does not taste like chicken. Now, on to these different cereals. First of all, I want to tell you that because my videos are so popular amongst the 5 to 10 followers that I have, that I could easily get sued if I put a particular brand name on my video and then say something disparaging about it. So that I will not do. Let's look at this right here. Does Cheerios really cheer you up? Does Life cereal add life? Is Trix really for kids? I always thought Trix was something for women who don't sleep at night and wear gaudy clothing. I want to give you a heads up on this last one. If you're paying for the price of a box of Trix for that kind of trick, you're going to end up with more than you want. So, avoid. Let's back up here. Does Life cereal add life? Well, of course it does. In fact, all food adds life. I have found in my life experience that eating is a necessity. So, Life cereal certainly would add life. Now, as far as Cheerios making you cheerful, well, let's just see. So, well, trying to do the Cheerio. Excellent cereal. It's probably don't talk while you're eating. You can get choked, and that's not very cheerful. Woo! Okay. Alright, now let me go on to the last thing here, and we'll wind this video up. First of all, I want to point out a couple of things to you. As far as the is 2% milk twice as good as 1%? Of course, I mean the math just adds up. And as far as getting half milk from whole milk, I want to show you what to do. So I have here just a normal glass, and if you put half of the milk in the glass, you've got half milk. So that one's another one's kind of obvious, but we'll go. Good stuff. So let's see. Last thing that I wanted to point out to you here, And this is really important when you're designing your bowl of cereal. I want to point out a couple of things. This is not milk. It looks like it, it pours like it, but believe me, it is not milk. I would avoid using this on your cereal unless you want to bounce off the walls for most of the day. This is not milk. I would also suggest not using this on your cereal. And if you have a 3-year-old in your house, do not let them use this in place of milk. I also learned that the hard way. This is not milk. While it's good, and good on some cereals, this is not a good combo. So, and for reasons that I can't really share, this right here kind of causes a little bit of a chain reaction, if you know what I mean. So, avoid that. Now, one of the things that you probably noticed, and I really am going to wrap this up here, is that milk is white. Don't let that fool you. Not everything in your refrigerator that is white goes on cereal. And here is a perfect example. If it is clumpy and barely comes off the spoon, this is not milk and should be avoided putting on cereal at all costs. It's also not really good just by itself. Woo! Oh. This has been Cooking with Dr. Drew. I hope these tips helped. Have a good day. Happy New Year. And remember, eat because you want to.